Hi, my name is Carlee King, and I'm going to be talking about the life of Harriet Tubman. Okay. Life as a child for Harriet Tubman. She was born in 1822. She's the daughter of Ben Ross and Harriet Green Ross, which were both slaves. Harriet has 11 siblings, and she's the youngest, and she has been a slave since birth. Harriet discovered the Underground Railroad, which is secret trails and houses that led the slaves to their freedom, and she has led over 300 slaves to their freedom, including family and friends and strangers. She served in the Civil War as a spy and a nurse, and this was all voluntary. And she continued to free slaves even while in the Union. Harriet died at the age of 93, and her cause of death was pneumonia. She was buried at Fort Hill Cemetery in Auburn, New York. Some of her accomplishments was that she freed over 600 slaves, and even more than that. So she also served in the Union. And I really like this quote from her. It says, "I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves." I think this quote is really interesting. She did free a lot of slaves, and it's crazy how many she helped get to their freedom, and she could have helped so many more. And I think this was really interesting because even her own husband, he actually wasn't a slave, but he actually threatened to tell her owner that she was wanting to free slaves and she wanted to run away. So he threatened to tell her owner that she was going to do that. So she ended up leaving him, and she did it anyways. Some of the virtues I think that she has are wisdom and courage. For wisdom, she kept the whole Underground Railroad a secret. I think that had to have been really tough. Even though she told her husband some of what she was going to do, she thought she could trust him, but obviously she couldn't. But she kept it a secret to everybody else. And then in the Union, when she was a spy, that had to take a lot of time and effort that was put into that to be a spy. She also had courage. There were so many times, even including like with her husband, that she could have been killed, but she did what she wanted to do. Some more virtues was faith. She continued what she was doing. She didn't care. She thought this was right, so that's why she was doing it. And here's another quote from her. "If you hear the dogs, keep going. If you see the torches in the woods, keep going. If they're shouting after you, keep going. Don't ever stop, keep going. If you want the taste of freedom, keep going." And I thought that was another really amazing quote from her because she continued, she kept going. Another virtue would be hope. She hoped that in the end she was going to free so many slaves, which she did. She hoped that she was going to be free and that she was going to make a difference, and she did. Harriet versus me. If I was in Harriet's shoes, I don't believe that I could have kept something so secretive for so long. I had to have told somebody. That had to have been really hard on her. And then courage. She showed so much courage. There were so many times that she could have been killed for all these other people and for running away, but I honestly don't think I could have done it without anybody else. I would have had to have kept somebody there with me telling me to keep going. And here's my bibliography.